Water element sits in the body, in the lower belly, in the hips, in the lower back, the kidneys as well. Water element. So you can visualize this whole area of your body. Even lying on your backs this morning, take your hands and you can just place them on your lower belly. And what's interesting in doing that is when you breathe, you can notice how breath even affects that area of your body. When you take an inhale, your diaphragm moves down and your belly expands. The lower belly will lift and expand a little bit as well, not as much as the upper belly. And then as you exhale, the lower belly softens. So you can see how breath can really go to these far places, not breath itself, but the effect of breath, rather, the movement of the body. So lying on your back, put your legs just any way that feels comfortable for you. Water has this quality to transform, it can freeze, it can melt. It has this beautiful quality of flow, especially when it is not frozen. It moves in a way that is very smooth, so you can almost begin to visualize your breath moving in the same way water does, taking that smooth, long inhale all the way into the lower belly, feeling movement there, and then exhaling, and letting the exhale be just as smooth as it comes out and leaves your body. And I'd love to give you a mantra today, one that I heard years ago, and I love it when I am focusing on water element or doing a water element practice. And it is simply as I flow with the rhythms of the rivers of life. I flow with the rhythms of the rivers of life. I flow with the rhythms of the rivers of life. Saying that silently to yourself and letting it go, seeing how it feels. And when we move through a water element practice together, it's good for all the fluid systems in the body, our circulatory system, lymphatic, and just this awareness of fluid in the body. Good for our kidneys, good for digestion. And a water element practice is uplifting. It's very energizing and it expands within us. So all good things in today's practice. Let's take about 3 more breaths, just lying here in constructive rest on our backs. And then as we go ahead and prepare ourselves to begin to move through our practice, let's just take the right leg and hug the right leg in. So staying on your back, if you want to straighten the other leg, you could, but it really depends on how you feel. If you want to keep it bent or straight, I want you to decide. But when you hug in your right leg today in particular, I want you to notice pressure on your lower belly. So a lot of these poses aren't just about what's happening on the top and bottom, but what's happening in the middle is that you're hugging this right leg in and you're getting a little bit of pressure on that area where the water element is. So feel that pressure, but keep your breath going nice and smooth. And then support this right leg and start to straighten and bend it. So when you move to straighten and bend it, maybe on the straightening part, flex your foot, get into the whole leg now, and then bend it down. And remember to link your breath. So inhale, straighten, exhale, bend, or if you're opposite, that's okay. You're just breathing. Breath isn't too critical right now. You're just keeping it going. seamless, flowing, nice and smooth. Okay, let's just take the right leg, extend it long, but put your arms down beside you and let that right leg come all the way down, and then rest. And I want you to feel into the right side now and the left side. You can feel the difference. Take a breath and then take that left leg, hug it in. And once again, feel the pressure on the lower belly. Breathe in here, relax your face, your jaw, your shoulders. And then as you start to straighten and bend that left leg, the pressure comes off the lower belly a little bit. You support the left leg, maybe even decide to flex your foot when you straighten. That'll get more into the calf, into the back of the knee. Slow and steady, flow of your breath. One more time. And then go ahead and straighten your leg, arms down to your sides, and see if you can match here your exhale as you lower your leg all the way down. And now feel into both sides. Feel a little more even. Let's end this movement by hugging both knees into center. Now we have this pressure coming from both sides. All the organs on either side get the benefit of hugging the knees in. And we will come up to seated. So if you want to roll to your side to come up, or if you want to roll right up, come on up and just sit for a moment and see how you feel. We'll start on hands and knees today, and if you want to put a blanket under your knees, you can. You know what, I'm going to grab 2 blocks. So while you sit up, I'm going to grab 2 blocks, maybe 2 blocks in the front of your mat for our practice. And I did want to mention this too, just thinking about hands. You know, we were talking about achy hands this morning. If you come to tabletop and you feel it in your hands, you can be on blocks. You know, you can do this. If you have sensitive hands, if the cold is bothering your hands, certainly you can do this, okay? I wouldn't flow like this, it's not really safe, but tabletop is fine. In tabletop, let's go right to cat-cow to feel the inhales and the exhales. The inhale is the back bend, the exhale is the rounded spine. As you drop your head, make sure to release your jaw, that your face is nice and soft so you're not holding any tension. And in particular today, notice the pelvic area, the pelvis, where you are tilting forward in the forward fold, and then you're tilting it back, that rotation of that area where the water element sits. So really feeling movement there today and expanding there. Do that one more time. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine to tabletop. Okay, pause for a moment. Now we're going to go back a little further. So if you want to take your hands out, one handprint, that might give you more space. Take that inhale again, open up the chest, back bend, but then round and come back a little further. Now you're reaching towards child's pose. So taking up more space. As you come forward, you can certainly drop your hips. Watch the weight bearing on the hands, and then come all the way back. And this can start to change as you flow. And you can even visualize how water moves. You know, how it flows when it comes in, and then when it seeps and goes back out. One more time, and then I will ask you to stay in child's pose, Balasana, so come on back. And when you're here, don't feel that you have to land and just stick it, but open up your knees and really start to sink down and get that grounded feeling of that's earth element as you ground down towards the ground. Notice pressure on your lower belly. You certainly feel it here as it makes contact with your upper thighs. Take about 2 more breaths, sending the breath right down to that area we're focusing on today, the lower belly, the hips, the lower back, the kidneys. And then let's go ahead and flow all the way up. Okay, let's meet in tabletop. I do want to give you a couple dynamic down dogs. Let's get us off the knees. So let's take that inhale, look forward, curl the toes, and gently float the hips up. Belly goes back towards upper thighs. Then you can come down. If down dog is too much for you today, you can do cat-cow. Same idea, because the spine is moving forward and back. Okay. We will start standing. You want to get there from down dog, take a couple breaths there, or step right up to standing and find yourselves reaching up to the sky slowly, and bring your arms down. Okay, let me just adjust my camera a little bit. So, set up your standing posture of Tadasana at the top of your mat. I am going to bring my blocks up here because I know that I'm eventually going to send the right and left leg back, so I think that I'm going to maybe need them, so I'll put them there. Standing in Tadasana, mountain pose, just feel into your whole long, tall body, root your feet into the earth. Let's do a little movement here where we inhale and reach the arms up in the front, but we're going to drop over to the right. So drop your right arm and lean over towards the right. You can look down, come back through center, and go ahead and do that on the other side. Just getting a little bit of lateral movement in here before we flow. Try it one more time on each side, please. Moving the arms smooth here with your breath. Okay, and then this time when you inhale and reach up to the sky, soften the knees a little bit because I'm going to ask you to fold forward. Go ahead and take the right leg, send it back, and drop the right knee. Be mindful about this. Set up your low lunge. Start to let the hips melt down a little bit here and then pull them back. So let's get into this whole area that, we're mentioning of the hips, the lower back. Check this out, see how this feels today. And you can go back as far as you want here. If it feels good for you to straighten that front leg, absolutely. Just some dynamic movement here before we hold anything. Okay, let's all come up to a position where the front leg is more so at this right angle. The knee is over the ankle. We can bring our hands to the knee, and this is where we really want to get good balance because we're going to do a few things with our arms. So once you feel you have that balance, reaching the arms out to the sides, expanding, then we're going to bring them back on our lower back. So fingertips down, open up the chest, and put just a tiny bit of pressure on the lower back with the hands. Breathing here. Take one more breath. And then expand out to the side again. Reach with your fingertips. Bring the hands down on the blocks on the ground. And prepare to come back up to stand. So really bring that front foot to feel stability. Flip the back foot. Bring the back foot up. Hang forwards. Reach your arms up to the sky. Take your time. And bring your arms all the way down. Take a breath. See how you feel. Okay, other side. Let's do dynamic Urdhva Hastasanas. When we clasp our hands, we flip the clasp, press down, come up to just right where you can see your hands, pause, and then as you reach your arms all the way up to the sky, drop your chin, then bring it down, excuse me, where you can see it again, and then bring it up. We'll do that about 2 more times. That slow, steady movement with breath, really expanding in the chest and in the shoulders, taking your time, not going too high if it feels like too much for you. And then the last one, when we come down from here, we'll come all the way down now, all the way with the hands, release, and then shake off your hands a little bit here. Yeah, see how you feel. Okay, we'll do a forward fold again to go into the other side of a low lunge, so we'll inhale, reach up. Let's go ahead and fold forward, soften your knees as much as you need and send your left leg back. Not a huge step, but a comfortable step that you can flow back, adjust the front foot, and start to pulse here. That you can really feel that you're creating space, you're flowing back and forth. The breath is matching your movement here as well. We'll do that a couple more times. And then when you're ready, you go ahead and find low lunge. Your back knee is down, your front foot is nice and stable here. Come to knee, this is mainly for balance. You come to knee, you relax the shoulders, and you right away let the chest start to soften and open. Arms out to shoulder height, and this is when we wrap our arms back on our lower back, that water element area of the back body. See if you can lengthen the spine, keep your gaze steady, take one more breath, and then go ahead and open up here, expand. We're going to bring our arms down, but do something different. We're going to come to tabletop, so go ahead and get this front foot back, so we're all in tabletop. And with control, we will lower to our bellies. So take an inhale first, exhale, lower all the way down. Let's set up crocodile. Crocodile is nice because we don't have to be on the hand. I'm sorry, not crocodile. I'll go to that, but let's go to Sphinx. Sphinx is nice because we don't have to have a ton of weight on the hands, so it's more so on the forearm area, but coming up to a really gentle back bend. Go ahead and look over your right shoulder. Come back to center, look over the other side. And then just get your head to the middle in a comfortable position. You can even drop your chin a little bit. Take about 2 more breaths, letting breath go all the way down the back body to the lower back and all the way back up. Now let's come to crocodile. So come down, stack your forearms, forehead down, and rest here for a moment. And I'd love for you to feel breath moving in the lower belly here while you're on your belly, because it's a different feeling than when you're on your back. So inhaling, feel the belly press into the earth. Exhale, feel it lift up. Do that 2 more times, please. Okay, we want to get all the way up to standing, so let's take our time, move with breath, press the hands, come to tabletop, either through plank and then to tabletop. If you are okay with down dog, please find that. Walk hands to feet or feet to hands, whatever feels better. Reach up to the sky. Big inhale, exhale, let your arms flow down. Pause and let yourself just get used to this orientation for a moment. I want to go right to balance before we flow a little more. So let's take the right leg up, left arm, opposites. So good for us to do this. Arm down, leg down, and then switch. Left or right and left. If I get it wrong, you know what I mean? Do the other side. We're going to do it one more time. Reaching up, keep your gaze steady. And then down. Last one. And then down. All right, pause for a moment. Breathe here. All right, let's set up our next standing pose with the ground up. So I'd love for you to inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Those blocks are there. Maybe if you need them, come all the way, fold forward. Let's go ahead and take the right leg and send it back again, but put it at an angle, and your knee doesn't go down. You stay up. Bend the front knee and sweep your arms up. You will find yourself right away in Warrior One. Virabhadrasana 1. Okay, arms down, straighten the leg. We're going to start to flow, but let's make sure our balance feels good, and let's begin. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come on out of it. Follow your breath. Move your body in that fluid, smooth way. Bend that front knee as much as you like. Okay, so for the hold, I want you to do what we did lower lunge. Is we came here first, bend your front knee, expand your arms, but then wrap your hands back and place them on that lower back. Fingertips down, open up the chest, look forward here. Take one more breath. And then to come out of it, same idea. We'll straighten the front leg, let it release. Arms at shoulder height. Inhale, reach the arms up, expand. Exhale, fold forward. You're going to have to bend that front knee a little bit. Step the back foot in, all the way up to the top. Hang forward, and then sweep up again. Reach up to the sky. Arms come down. Take a breath. See how you feel. Let's try Warrior One sequence on the other side. Inhale, we go up. Exhale, fold forward. Send that leg back, that left leg. Might help you to bend the front knee and come up into warrior one first, right out of the gate here, just to feel it. Keep your gaze steady. Then come out of it for a moment. Straighten the leg. Okay, to place the hands, or wait, sorry, not the hold yet. Inhale, reach up. We'll do this first. Exhale, down. Keep going, flowing here about 3 or 4 times. Extend that breath, make it nice and long. Okay, last one dynamically. And then let's do this. Let's bring the arms down. Let's bring the arms to shoulder height, bend the front knee, and then we're going to wrap them back. Fingertips down, placing the hands where it feels good for you. And there is a little bit of a pull of the elbows coming towards each other here as you expand it up in the chest. Keep your gaze steady. Take one more breath. And then open up, reach up, let that leg take a little break in the front. We will fold forward, so you might need to bend that knee again. Step the back foot forward, hang and standing forward fold, Uttanasana, and then inhale, reach up. Arms come down. Okay, we're going to turn to be long ways on our mat so we can all here in the room together face the parking lot. I'm going to say maybe a block within reach, okay? Let's step our legs open so we're wide. We're going to go right into it, wide-legged, standing forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Take your time. Come down, adjust your feet and your knees. Put a block there if the ground feels too far. Can you bring your chin in as you melt down? Take one more breath. And then let's come up halfway, look forward. Expand as you open your arms and come on up. And then let the arms come down. I'd love for you to find the block if you think you'll need it, because we're going to come down and we're going to start to lunge a little bit. So let's protect these knees by bringing the heels in and the toes out. So a little different from our first variation. Inhale, the arms do come up. We do fold forward, round or block, whatever feels best. And we start to then have this fluid movement of swaying back and forth, of moving the hips, moving the lower back as we bend and straighten the knees. So watch how you're holding your head here. If you want to pull your chin in or drop your head, that might feel better for your neck. And then whatever side you go to next, stay there. Linger for a moment. Even bring a hand down to the ground and give a good opening there that side. Flow through center and hold on the other side. Take one more breath. And then come all the way back to center. Let's put the feet at parallel. Let's roll the spine up and open up the arms, expand in your chest. And then go ahead and bring the arms down. Simply step your legs together and face the front of the room. I'll meet you there. And take a breath. Sort of just stand and see how you feel for a moment here. Okay. We're going to do the next pose of Warrior 2. Maybe blocks for the flow to get into it. It will be a pose from the ground up again, as we've been doing. So we're going to start standing together in Samasthiti, this even standing pose. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhaling and folding forward. Once again, we'll take the right leg back. We're going to windmill the arms to go into Warrior 2 towards the left side. Breathing here. Relax in the upper body. And as you flow in this one, let me turn to show you. I want you to bring the arms down and tap your fingertips, and then bring up. Follow your breath. Gaze can change. If it helps to move with your hands, do that one more time. Okay, let's hold Warrior 2. Settle in. Gaze is right over that front hand. Back arm is up just as high as that front arm. Now drop your back arm and reverse it. Reach it back. So as if you're trying to scrape the top of the ceiling of the room that you're in. You're reaching, reaching, reaching. Keep breathing. Find Warrior 2. Hold it. And and then relax out of it. You'll go ahead and windmill the arms down. Step the back foot forward. Take your time doing that, your transition. Stand and standing forward, hold for a moment. Reach up to the sky and bring your arms down. And just pause before we go on to the other side. Take a breath. Okay, get your long spine, relax your shoulders. Inhale, reach up to the sky, please. Exhale, fold forward. Step the left leg back. Windmill with control up to warrior two now to the right side. Breathing here. So take your time, set it up. You feel the back arm is as high as the front. Your feet are rooted, and then you start to flow. The arms come down, you can tap fingertips, and then you go right back into it. It's the whole length of your breath. So it might look like very slow, very long movement, which is good. A couple more times. Okay, here we are in warrior two. Let's reverse it, which means we're going to drop this back arm, this left arm. We're going to reach up and over again, like we're trying to scrape the top of the ceiling. You can look up, keep your gaze steady, take one more breath. Go right back, flow into warrior two, hold it for a moment, and then relax out of it. Windmill the arms down as you step forward. Hang and standing forward, hold for a moment. Reach your arms up to the sky, and bring your arms down. Pause here, breathe. Okay, we did a little bit of balance when we did this, but now I'm going to ask you to do a holding balance posture, and we'll just do tree pose. So, water element is pinky to thumb, if you want to try it. Water sits in the pinky. We could go ahead and bring the right foot to the calf area, rooting the other foot into the earth. Don't feel you have to open this knee like this. It can be very soft to the side, just at a diagonal there. I do want you to think about a long spine, a steady gaze, and a smooth, fluid breath here. Take one more breath. And then come on out of it. You can release your hands if you had the hand gesture, the mudra. Stand up nice and tall, and go ahead and find that on the other side. Take your time. Take your time. I flow with the rhythms of the rivers of life. Slowly come out of it and just find yourself standing here in Samasthiti. All right, let's start to flow down to come for a sort of a middle level practice. So we'll come up to the top here. Take a breath first. We'll inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. I'd love for you to find down dog. So go ahead and take your time and find down dog. If you don't practice it, you always know you have tabletop. We want to get to our bellies again. So either through plank or tabletop. And you want to go all the way down on the exhale. And then we find your choice, cobra or sphinx. You decide, please, what feels better for your body today. Settling in, feeling the lower belly press down into the earth. Take one more breath. And then come on down. And let's counter that as you press up to tabletop, either through plank or not, and then go to child's pose. And then rest in child's pose for a moment. Reconnect with your breath. Reconnect with that water element. Jala, J-A-L-A, is water in yoga. Feel it moving through your body. Take one more breath. as we come up together to tabletop, I want to tell you that I want to practice a pose where we'll be kneeling. So if you'd like to put a blanket under your knees for the next sort of few poses we move through, you can see if that would help you a little bit. Possibly a block in the front as we meet here kneeling together today. Keep a long spine throughout this whole sequence. It is gate pose, so we'll take the right leg out to the side. I always teach this in a way that you can either put your foot flat. If that pinches your hip, maybe put the heel down, the foot up. But see what feels better. If I feel it feels tight here for me, sometimes I move my leg a little forward. See if you can keep your chest towards the front of your mat. Focus here on control here in the center. Yes, see, I think I have to flip the toes today. Okay, reach the arms up, please. And you're going to fold down towards that extended leg, not putting weight on the leg, but just using it to guide your hand as you slide down. Chin down, breathe here. Flow back through center and then do the opposite, meaning you'll go to the other side. So slide down, reaching over here, expand. And then bring both arms up. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, arms come down. Carefully bring the leg back. Pause for a moment. And then I want you to find center. So before you send that other leg out, feel centered here. Get the spine nice and long. Take the other leg out. And take a moment, don't rush it. Take a moment to see if you need to move the foot forward a little bit or maybe out. Is it down? Is the heel down? Every side is different. Reach your arms up to the sky. This is where you get length. Then drop down towards your left. Be careful not to drop weight on this leg. Reaching over. And there's this uplifting feeling that you're lifting up and reaching. Take one more breath. Flow through center and then go to the other side. Try not to tip too much. The movement's happening from this navel center as you do that lateral tilt over. One more breath. Reaching the arms up, get length here. Take a big inhale and then exhale, arms come down. Just move the block out of the way and have that leg come in. And find child's pose to even out your hips, to stretch the thighs, the hips. Take a breath in child's pose, please. Okay, come on up to cat-cow, please. And in tabletop, and in tabletop, let's go into cat-cow. You know what I meant. Taking an inhale and an exhale, just getting a little bit of flow here before we go to a seated practice. A couple more times. And I will cue hero's pose, so go ahead and find neutral spine, bring your knees together. And if it feels okay for your knees, you can find hero before you go to seated, meaning that your seat goes back to your heels. You sit up nice and tall. Take a couple breaths. Notice. And then as you prepare to sit, go ahead and go to one side and sweep your legs out. My blanket's here, so I am just going to sit on it. If you want yours out of the way, move it, because we are going to move into our seated practice here today. Okay, let's move into a pose that's even just to begin. It'll be a really gentle seated forward fold, dynamically first, meaning that we'll inhale, reach up, exhale, fold forward, tapping the fingertips down. Don't worry about how far you're going forward. Inhale, reach up. Try that a couple more times. Your breath is what's important here. That you're emptying and then you're filling up. Okay, let's stay. So come on down. Hands can go to the earth. Bring your chin in. Know that you can bend your knees a little bit. Feel pressure on the lower belly here. So another pose where we get to really sort of activate that area, that water element space. Use your exhale to soften, please. Take 2 more breaths. And then please reach up to the sky, get nice and tall, let the belly expand, and then drop your hands a little bit behind to open up, to look up, to bring the chin up. And it's a little bit of a back bend, so you can feel that heart lift and move up towards the sky. Take one more breath. And then see if you can sweep the arms up, bring the head back, and bring the arms down. We'll take the right leg. We're going to hug the right leg in as much as we can here. So hug it in, place the foot down, and then open it up. And once you open it, try not to readjust it. You want to protect the knee. You can support that knee with a blanket or a block. The body probably went this way, so bring it back to center. These toes want to do this, right? They want to go up. So toes go up to the sky with this idea that this leg is also getting a stretch. Reach your arms up to the sky and give yourself a forward fold here, knowing that the goal isn't to go deep, but just to hinge at the hips, to give that lower back a little bit of a stretch, that hamstring. You can certainly soften that left knee. Janushirasana, the seated pose. Breathe here. One more breath. As you come out of it, I'd love for you to reach your arms up to the sky first. That's the inhale. Exhale brings the arms down. You let this leg come back out and give it a little bit of love. So give it a little bit of a rub, the hip, the knee. Then find yourself centered again, sort of clean up your seat here. Hug the left knee in tight. Get it in as much as you can. Open it up, protect the knee here as you open. And then let the body be comfortable, but then bring it back. These toes are up. Remember, you're also getting a stretch in this leg. Reach the arms up, please. And then gently go down into the seated Janushirasana. And if you feel that going deeper, you start to get rounder, just come back up out of it a little bit and straighten out your spine and bring your chin in. That is sort of the better alignment here for the forward fold part of it. Keep breathing, long and smooth breath here. Okay, one more breath to finish it off together. Reach your arms forward as you come all the way up. Expand here, open, let the arms come down. Excuse me, help the knee up, and then go ahead and rub into that leg a little bit. Upavista Konasana is when the legs open up. So we start small first, just to see how we feel, and we can start to move into it. The heat is affecting my voice. Too much heat everywhere. Okay, so this itself is doing a lot, right? We already feel that here. The toes are up. We don't want to collapse. We want the toes to be up. And we feel our sitting bones rooted into the earth. Feel that you're creating space here, meaning that you're rooted down, but you're sitting up nice and tall. You're not collapsing in the lower belly, in the pelvis area. Breathing here. So if we take this forward, it is a little bit more, but I'm going to offer it. And when you do that, you don't want everything to collapse. You want to actually keep the legs as they are. Maybe that means bringing them in as you come forward. Walk with your hands. Bring your chin in. And see if you can keep that long spine. Blocks might be useful to put underneath your hand or your forearms if you want to. Close the eyes if you feel that would help even. All these little things you can do. Take one more big inhale. Exhale your breath out. And then on the inhale, begin to rise back up. Have it be that your head is the last to lift. As you still sit up nice and tall to finish the pose. Lean back and bend the knees, and it's sometimes easier to walk the legs in with the knees bent. Kiss your feet together and just sway the knees back and forth here. Yeah, just let them close off a little bit. Last seated pose is Baddha Konasana. That's that butterfly pose. If you want to bring your feet in as far as you can before you open up, it might be kind of interesting to feel it that way, to enter different. Sometimes I'll enter from here, but try this and then open up. Then sit up. So it might become a little deeper for you. Okay, sitting bones rooted. Arms can extend pinky to thumb, Jala Mudra. Breathing here. I flow with the rhythms, the rivers of life. We'll take about 3 more breaths in Baddha Konasana. And as you become more aware, helping the knees come up and simply extending the legs and just rubbing into the legs a little bit. Let's go back to our backs. So again, if you want to put a blanket back here flat, you could, but let's measure out that we don't come back onto anything that would bother us, but we come all the way back. And when you come back, go ahead and place your hands on your lower belly again. Water is flowing, it is smooth, fluid. As you lie here for a moment, feel the benefits of a water practice in your circulatory system, your lymphatic system, even in your energy center, to feel more energized, uplifted, expanded. Notice that in your body today. And we'll take about 2 more breaths. Just a constructive rest here before we begin some sequencing on our backs. Let's begin by hugging knees into center as we did in the beginning, feeling that pressure on the lower belly as you hug both knees in, putting the feet down on the earth as close to the seat as you can, to prepare for a dynamic bridge pose. Arms down to the side to relax your shoulders. We'll enter on the inhale, it's energizing. Inhale, reaching the arms back, pressing up the hips. Exhale, come on back out of it. Flow with this today, quality of water. Arms moving through space. Even the way the hips move, make it be smooth if you can. It's not a jerky movement up, but it's nice and smooth. Okay, last one, dynamic, and we're going to have some options for holding it. Come on down in stillness, take a breath. Be still for a moment, take a full inhale and an exhale. You can hold it with arms down, with arms back. Some students have probably practiced with their arms clasping underneath, so please move into bridge pose in a way that works for you. Arms down, back, or underneath. Pressing the feet into the earth, lifting the hips up right where that water element sits, and breathing here. Let's see if we can take 2 more breaths. If the hands are clasped underneath, release them so you have space to come down on the exhale, and then go ahead and hug those knees into center, please. Uttanasana. Maybe a little rolling back and forth to feel good on your lower back. Okay, keep those knees hugged in. Keep the legs kissed together and bring the legs more to right angle. You're going to bring your arms up to shoulder height, palms up. We'll dynamically do supine twist first, which means that we'll drop both knees to the right, but bring them right back up. So let's match breath. Inhale and center. Exhale to drop. Alternating sides. Inhale, exhale. Really drawing the energy from that lower belly area, that abdominal area. Do it one more time, each side. And then I'd love for you to hold it. Let's say we'll all hold it on the right side. So dropping both knees and going into the hold of supine twist. Roll your hips. place your arms in a way that feels good for you, please. And let the body settle down into a supine twist here. Think about your shoulders, soften your shoulder blades, your spine. Sense the kidneys and even soften the kidneys where they sit in the back of the body. Take about 2 more breaths in your twist. And then we'll go ahead and use the strength of our center to bring those legs up. Let's hug the legs in and let's straighten them up to the sky. This is a nice counter pose. We can even do that dynamically, straightening and bending, flexing the feet before we hold the supine twist on the other side. Okay, we'll do that again. So if you want to stay there, don't worry, we're coming back. Okay, hug your knees in, or rather, put your legs at a right angle. Open up the arms at a place that feels good for you, and then drop both knees to the left. Supine twist on the other side that we haven't done yet. Relax into it. Flowing with the rhythms of the rivers of life. Feeling that in your body. Breathing into the lower back, lower part of the spine. Send breath to the kidneys. Soften the shoulders. And take about 2 more breaths here. Use the strength of your center to bring the legs up to center. And as you hug your knees in, maybe a little rolling back and forth. And once again, we'll counter by straightening and bending a couple times. But this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to keep the legs up to the sky, maybe after a couple dynamic movements, or Viparita Karani, legs up. The legs don't have to be perfectly straight. In fact, your knees can be soft. Soften your toes. Release your legs. And let your lower back relax into the ground. That active reversal. Feel that flow reverse in the body as the feet are above the heart. Take about 2 more breaths here with legs up. And before you bring the legs down, open them up a little bit, so a little bit of a little V. Bend your knees towards your armpits and hold on to the backs of your knees to move into happy baby. You can keep your hands here, or you can hold your ankles, calves, or even the outsides of your feet, just to end on a nice, even, sweet pose. A little bit of pressure on that lower belly. 2 more breaths. And then as you come out of it, kissing the legs together, bringing the feet down to the earth, and extending each leg at a time to prepare for Shavasana, our final rest pose. And preparing means that you grab whatever you need to get comfy here, a blanket, a cushion, an eye pillow. I had a teacher once tell me that if you bring your toes in towards center and they can still touch, your legs aren't open wide enough for Shavasana. So see if your toes touch, and if they do, maybe open the legs. Yeah, there. Space, take up space. Relax the body, drop down into the earth. And just as we feel the quality of earth supporting us, begin to once again move to the thought of the quality of water. Fluid, smooth, moving through us. And as you feel the breath coming in and out of your nostrils, visualize it flowing through your body as if a river would. Water streaming down all the way into the lower belly and moving all the way back up out your nostrils. And stay with this visualization, moving into Shavasana, this flow of breath as water flows in the body. I'll be here and I will bring you out in a few moments. Staying just as you are, no need to move quite yet, and if your mind has sort of wandered off, bringing it back to the flow of your own breath, coming in through the nostrils all the way down to the lower belly, and then letting the breath flow all the way back up and out. Notice that movement a few more times. beginning now to add movement as well to the fingers, to the toes. Reaching the arms back behind your head if that would feel good for you to awaken a little more and come out of Shavasana. Stay with your breath as you roll to your side.